Well. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ryan. Let's go ahead and get started here. We have a little bit of a surprise, kind of not surprise, kind of surprise. I don't know how to really say it, but the SPC at the 1:30 p.m. update went ahead and issued a marginal low level of a severe risk here for parts of South and West Michigan, primarily Southwest Michigan here, all the way from basically Pentwater over to Big Rapids, Fremont, Hastings, Kalamazoo, Three Rivers, Holland, Grand Rapids. You guys over there in particular have a severe risk now for tomorrow evening. Now, if you caught our post a few minutes ago, we did not specify what day that was for. This is for tomorrow, not today. There is a low chance of a shower or passing storm today, although that is a very low chance, more so on the east side of the state. Nothing strong or severe with today's, if anything goes up today. This risk is for tomorrow. All right. I want to go ahead and highlight that. So jumping into what we kind of expect with this, be a pretty short stream today. Not expecting to be too should I say complicated here. We're watching our potential radar here on some of these models. We're looking at the evening time frame here. This is Thursday morning. We have some passing showers in the area around noon. These are not going to be severe, or not expected to be severe, should I say. Those are going to move through. And then we look off to our west here out in Illinois in the mid-afternoon hours at this particular area across South Wisconsin and North Illinois. Now, this radar may not look exactly like this, but the storms out to the west are going to be the ones we're going to be watching here during the afternoon evening time frames. We're going to push off into our area here late evening, probably after 6, might be closer to 8 or 9, or maybe even later than that. But those are going to impact Southwest Michigan here roughly around that 6 to 8 after that time frame. And those are the ones we're going to watch here for potential severe weather. We have some more pop-ups behind that, and overall that's your risk area there. Even into the early parts of Friday morning, those may be strong or perhaps severe. So what are we concerned about primarily? Number one concern is going to be large hail. The atmosphere tomorrow has a lot of instability, or is expected to have a lot of instability. There's some models here that are not really agreeing, but some models do have a lot of instability in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. And what that may do is try to drive some of these hailstones to grow, bigger than severe size. So that's our main concern. Secondary concern, damaging winds here. With any significant storms that really have a good downdraft, we could see some downburst winds primarily, only in the strongest cells. That shouldn't be too high of a risk. We're not expecting linear complexes or bow echoes. We're not really expecting that. It's a possibility we could have a couple of these stronger cells produce some damaging winds. Excuse me. But we're going to be more so looking at a downburst or microburst threat. And any of the stronger cores or hail cores, should I say, be main concern there. And also not really concerned for a tornado risk tomorrow. Again, we don't really we said it last time, not expecting tornadoes. We actually had a warning, but we're not really seeing much here that's going to indicate tornadoes being possible. So we're not going to really be concerned about those at all. Should be primarily a hail and wind risk here, but we'll be here watching it. We'll be here tracking it. If need be, I'll be here going live on radar if need be. Main time frame again tomorrow after 6 p.m. is going to be your time frame to watch, and then should continue into the early morning hours on Friday. And again, your risk area there is going to be for primarily Southwest Michigan, but you could technically say West Michigan. From Pentwater over to Fremont to Hastings, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek there as well. Three Rivers, Benton Harbor, South Haven, Holland, Muskegon. Yeah, Julie, low chance of that happening today. Low chance. In fact, I can show you, Julie, since we're on here. We do have I guess I can't. I guess I didn't do it, but I guess I can show you this one. For today, just some general thunderstorms possible over there on the southeast side there, if you can make that out. Highest risk off to our further south there, but it's not going to be severe, nothing strong, just pop-up general storms possible. And that window is also closing. After we get closer to sunset, that should close that window. So if we're going to see some rain, Julie, it's going to happen here next couple hours here. No problem. Flint. Luckily, this is not going to be for today. This is for tomorrow, Jacqueline. Looks pretty wicked. I mean, with these marginal risks, you can get some good sized storms going up there, but a marginal basically means not every storm is going to be severe and not everybody's going to see a storm. So, the ones that do, though, the ingredients are there for some large hail, damaging winds. Not too concerned for a tornado, but if you go back there on radar, it does look like a pretty decent storm that's being modeled here, at least on the HRRR model. Um, Across North Illinois there, and that could be the main driver there. It could be a pretty good storm, honestly, if it holds together. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that and track that through the afternoon tomorrow. And of course, the website I'm using just dies, so go figure. But why are you doing this to me? Why? All right. Any other questions, guys? Oklahoma cannot catch a break. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were watching last night, but we had some insanity last night too. Luckily, over pretty much rural areas in the Oklahoma, but that was crazy. Yeah, Drew, I agree. I do agree. Elevated storm action. I'm not too sure why they put the damaging wind risk in there, but um, surface cape does look to be quite low, so I don't really think we're going to see too much in the way of damaging winds tomorrow. Tim, yeah, Detroit is safe from severe tomorrow. You do have a chance of a passing storm or two. That's also where the light green is there. That's your general thunderstorm risk. Not concerned for severe weather unless you are in the dark green risk on the south and west side of the state there. Isn't this early for this kind of storm? Patty, storms can happen every single month of the year. We actually had tornadoes this year in Michigan in February. So um, we've had tornadoes in Michigan December, January, every single month we've had tornadoes, severe weather happens. So a typical season, though, yes, it is in typical season now. It's May 1st. Usually our most active season is in June here in Michigan, but typically severe weather most likely happens between, we'll say, March and October here in Michigan. That is correct. We call it anticyclonic overload. That is insane. That was the first what we call PDS, particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. That was for an anticyclonic tornado. That's it was historic last night. If you're following along with what's happening out west. Will it reach southeast Michigan at all for tomorrow? Severe, unlikely. Thunderstorms, yes. We can actually look at that here, watch what's going to happen. If this is going to load for me, we'll try it. There it goes. This is a NAM3 model, a bit different look at what's going to happen here. We're going to have those passing showers and storms later on in the evening here. This model is much slower. It typically is usually slower here, but this is why the risk is in place here. This is at 4 in the morning according to this model. I don't think it'll be that late when they first arrive. Probably closer to 10, 11 at the latest, I'd say, maybe closer to midnight. 4 in the morning is definitely a bit later, but this is a general idea of what could happen here. As we get overnight into Friday morning, that's going to cross the state here, and that's why that general thunderstorm risk is on the east side, because any of these thunderstorms here or any of these rain blobs you see there could generate some lightning, which is why you see that general thunderstorm risk. It's for the entire state. There's not one place in the state that doesn't have that risk for just general storms. I have not heard about that, Hannah. You probably saw that on my account, I'm going to guess. I tweeted that out because I was looking at GPS there, and um, yeah, I have not heard about anything there. No severe for the day there, Clash. Although general thunderstorms, it's a small chance we're going to see a pop up storm there in southeast Michigan. I'm going to have to bring the risk back up here. I'll just show you guys. It's a really, really low risk today. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, relatively soon. So basically from Macomb County down to Monroe over to 69 Coldwater area. Tomorrow, Sarah, is going to be roughly, I'm going to say after 6, but likely going to be a little bit later than that. We have a couple models trying to throw an isolated storm out there around 5, 6 o'clock. Then most of the models bring the bulk of the action closer to 9, 10 o'clock. So we're going to say after 6, but likely going to be a little bit later than that. Yeah, I didn't hear that, Hannah. I didn't really hear anything about the what happened there with those houses. I'm really curious myself, but I have not had an update on those. The clouds are starting to bubble. Are you serious? Hey, they are actually. We may get a chance here on the east side. What does the latest model say for that? Yeah, it still keeps us dry, unfortunately. The GEFS and GFS are cooking up something. I'm assuming you're going to mean for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, Caden. Yeah, we're watching that close. Yeah, that is definitely the hope, at least, Jacqueline. I hope this doesn't really materialize into too much, but it is a risk that has been introduced. So we're going to highlight that for you guys. It may not be a very high risk, but some ingredients are coming together to get severe weather. So we're going to mention that for sure. And of course, we'll be tracking this, updating you guys if anything changes between now and tomorrow evening. Saturday morning for the U of M graduation. You should be good, Mary. You should be good. After we clear out Friday, we should be in for a drier type of Saturday. So you should be a-okay up there. What is the risk radius again? You're looking on your screen there, Caden, for tomorrow. Pentwater, Fremont, Hastings, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Three Rivers, Benton Harbor, South Haven, Holland. Those are the general cities. Any points in between there? Shiawassee, you're not really in any risk tomorrow at all, just for some general storms. Nothing severe for you guys. Oh yeah, Jackson is out of this risk as well. But again, general thunderstorms are possible tomorrow across the state. Stronger storms would be likely over in the west part where you see this dark green area. After 6 p.m., Kristen, likely going to be probably closer to 8 or 9. Yes, they are, Kyle. Most of my best chases in Michigan have happened on marginal and slight risk days. So a lot of people like to downplay these risks, saying, "Oh, it's only a marginal, nothing's going to happen," but they fail to realize that most of our, tornadoes and severe weather happen on, marginal and slight risk days. So it doesn't have to be a higher threat to be overly concerned for something. Hazards tomorrow: hail is going to be your number one hazard, followed by damaging winds. There really is not a concern for tornadoes, although we said that last time, so we're going to be careful what we're going to say. We're just going to say we're not expecting tornadoes at this point. Should we just be mainly a large hail threat? That's great news, Hannah. What account did you see that on? Nope, no risk for Southeast Michigan for tomorrow. I see a few comments in here for like upcoming severe weather. We're not going to go too in depth yet just because we don't really have the confidence, but I do have these pulled up. I just did a stream on the regional account. But specifically for Michigan, not too sure what's going to happen yet, but we are watching Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, particularly Wednesday. We're seeing some signal here for a potential severe episode somewhere in our area. It could be down south toward the Ohio River. It could be to our west in, Arkansas, Missouri, but somewhere within the general Midwest region here, looking at back-to-back days here, potential severe weather. It may affect Michigan. It may not. We're keeping an eye on that. I think it's highest risk off to our south and west, but we'll see. We'll see how it trends. Thank you, Hannah. I'll go ahead and check that out. I'm thinking Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be a pretty good day for severe across the U.S., J-Man. I just don't know exactly where yet. Any other questions, guys? This is a great example here, Jordan. That's a great comment. Michigan doesn't follow marginal standards ever. Most times it does. Let's be honest. Most times it does. Great example of it was back on Monday. We had a risk there in the thumb of Michigan. We were kind of, myself personally, I was kind of more so high on the threat. I was looking for that potential severe storm up there closer to the Lake Huron area. It didn't happen though. We didn't get the instability. Sometimes that happens. Most times it will happen that way. But we have a few events here in Michigan that were marginals or even slights that overperformed. And a good example of that would be back on 27th of February, we had two tornadoes in Michigan in marginal and slight risk areas. So it happens sometimes. It doesn't happen most times, though. But the risk is always there. And we're going to highlight that for you guys. All right. I'm going to hop off here. We'll go live tomorrow morning for an update for you guys, and probably again afternoon for any updates. Not too bad of a threat, we don't think, but it is a threat they're highlighting nonetheless. We're going to share that with you guys. Should be interesting to watch it, and we'll see if we have any chasers who are going to go out. I'm sure we will have chasers. I'll be here on stream duty in case anything does go severe. So we'll have you guys covered either way. With that being said, have a great day. Enjoy some nice, humid spots, but some nice weather here.